Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. Give me what I want, or I'm gonna continue to hurt people you love. Give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. You just don't want to give it to me. Give it to me. Give me what I want.
We're gonna give you what you want.
That's not what I want.
That's not what I want. What's up? AWO here, guys. Aaron Warder, Friday night, guys. It's July 7th, 2023. Yeah, I don't know. Let's talk some basketball. We're going to talk some basketball. Some big basketball stuff. News. The biggest topic of basketball, NBA news going around in the world of the NBA. Well, there's also some other news. Pretty funny. Well, that's, I guess, and it is funny, but I'm going to talk about that others. This is going to be the bigger news. We're going to talk about Damian Lillard and why I'm changing my tune, my impression, my respect. Why I lost some respect and losing more respect for this guy. He's turning out to be everything that we thought he wasn't. Okay. And we're going to go into more detail about that. Before we get into that stuff, I want you to do me a favor. If you like sports and wrestling, this is a channel for you. Make sure to subscribe, please. Please subscribe. Share us out all media platforms, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now the new social media platform, the one that's taking the world by storm, the one that Mark Zuckerberg has stuck it to, Mr. Elon Musk, Threads. So thank you if you could be able to do that. And smash the like button down below because we are going to talk about Damian Lillard. Tonight. All right. Damian Lillard. I'm not going to make this freaking banner. I'm going to delete this. Okay. I got this. Please feel free to come in if you want to. We could talk about this, guys. Feel free to come in. Okay? All right. Let's get into this stuff. Damian Lillard, man. Damian Lillard. Only has made it perfectly clear to Portland, to the front office of Portland, the Trailblazers, and only has one destination in mind for him to go to. One. And that's the Miami Heat to play with Jimmy Butler. And that's it. He's not open to going to any other team besides Miami. He's not open to going to any other team that's in contention for a championship or whatever, wants to make it one at the championship besides Miami. Now, understood why. Miami did make it to the finals representing the East. That's all correct. Okay? They did, but they lost 5 games to to Denver. And they lost Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. Gabe Vincent signed with the Lakers. Max Strus, yeah. Gabe Vincent signed with the Lakers, and Max Strus has been in the sign and trade deal to the Cavaliers. I think it's the Cavaliers. Yeah. Okay. So they lost 2 guards, and obviously Tyler Hero's coming back. Obviously, if you're Miami, you'd be interested in Lillard. But it's not really up to Lillard. Really, I lost respect for this guy because I thought he's one of the few top stars in the NBA that, well, no, I have no problem asking for a trade. I just have a problem with the reports coming out just wanting to go in one destination, and if he doesn't get what he wants and he goes to another team that has no interest in playing for, he's just gonna be disgruntled and unhappy. It may not even show up. I don't respect that of an athlete, of any athlete, especially somebody of Lillard's caliber, because superstars in the NBA in any sport, they get paid millions and millions of dollars to play and represent their team, right? And if you say, you know what? If I get traded here, but I don't want to go here, I have no interest, I'm not going to be happy here, I'm not going to bother showing up. You know what? I'm not fucking paying you. I'm not paying you, man. And I lose respect for you, man. Okay, you want to get traded? I know, getting traded in sports, you have to, obviously, you go to a new city, right? Obviously. You have to find housing to rent, whether it's a suite or you find housing to rent if you sign long term, right? Please come in. If you feel free to come in, right? Obviously that. And obviously, like a city like Miami, warm and nice, beaches. But I've been to Miami. Miami is not that, man. Miami is that, but Miami is like, if I wanted to go to Florida, I don't think I want to go to Miami, honestly. I think I'd rather go to Orlando or Tampa. And Mad Dog Russo says on First Take every Wednesday, when he mentioned Miami, whenever Miami comes up as a possible destination for Lillard or any other athlete in any sport, he says it best. Miami is not a good sports town, okay? Not a good sports town. Well, actually, in general, Florida is not a good sports state. That's a fact. Okay, Miami is not a good sports town. That's true. It's a Miami Dolphin town because football is like the biggest thing in Florida, and obviously Miami Dolphins are college. And let's be honest, football is big everywhere in the states, right? There's not one state where football is not king of the state. You can find me one state where football is not the king of that state. But Florida is especially, like most of the South, football is definitely the king of that state. And that's Miami and Florida. Baseball is not so big in Florida. I'll tell you that. Miami Marlins are doing well. They don't get a crowd. Tampa Bay Rays are doing well. They don't get a crowd. Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay both made the playoffs. They went to the Stanley Cup. Well, actually, Florida went to the Stanley Cup. Lowest rating Stanley Cup on ESPN and TNT because nobody wants to see those teams in the Stanley Cup. Well, that's different. And they had the tickets for those games. They had to Florida Panthers playoff tickets. What they did was they made sure Maple Leaf fans, when the Maple Leafs were to face Florida, they had to make sure Maple Leaf fans did not get first access to those tickets, and that the Florida fans in their state get it first because they were afraid that Leaf fans were going to hijack and take all the tickets. Unless you're a Leaf fan living in Florida. If you're a Leaf fan living in Florida, you're always going to get access first, no matter what. And they were afraid of that, stuff like that, because there's a lot of Canadians in Florida that retired down there that go to Florida. And you understand why. Oh, come on. I'll brief you up on it, George. Come on if you want, if you have time. Okay? Okay. And I'm gonna say this. Charlotte, I'll say this. I'm pump up the Charlotte City, Charlotte Bobcats, Hornet fans, whatever. Charlotte is a better basketball state than Florida. There, I said it. North Carolina is a bigger basketball state than Florida. You got North Carolina, Duke, especially college-wise, and the Bobcats are the Hornets are very big in Charlotte. North Carolina is a big basketball state. Obviously, football stole the king there, but basketball was really big in North Carolina. So, Lillard, if you want to go, and North Carolina's pretty warm too. Not as warm as Florida, but it's pretty warm. A lot of people like living in the Carolinas. Okay. Oh, you need a rant, man. Why 5 this morning, man? What time's your cab start? I want to know that. Okay. Basketball, NBA, over the years. Superstar entitlement, right? Over the years, the first big 3 was LeBron forming the Heat with Wade and Bosh, right? And then later on, you got Durant going to Golden State, forming, make that dynasty even more dangerous. And you got Durant on social media. This guy is been replying to people on social media, and he's been entering people's spaces on social media, on Twitter. Like this guy is like, Barkley is 100% right about. I understand. It's 100% right about Durant. Okay, 100% right. Thin-skinned, right? He's thin-skinned. Barkley is thin-skinned. That's what he says about Durant. That Durant's thin-skinned. I look at these tweets, man. Look at this. I lack maturity. Yeah, you do, man. Sometimes you do. Look at this. He replies to people, man. Look at this stuff. God damn. Like, this is a Lillard stream, but I'm looking at Durant, man. Look at this. This guy's been tweeting all day. Look at this. Durant's been tweeting all day. All day. And yesterday. My God. You spent this time, much of this time tweeting. Yeah. And I'm telling you, I think Miami got lucky in the playoffs. Okay? I don't think they have a really good team, honestly. And what are they gonna? They don't have the assets to trade for the. What are they gonna do? Give up Kyle Lowry? Because Kyle Lowry's making like $30 million. I'm sorry, but Kyle Lowry is past his prime, and obviously the Trailblazers don't want Lowry. Who on besides Hero and Benabayu, who else can they trade? Really? And you cannot give up as much draft capital as you once did in the past. You can't do that. The only way this could work is if other teams get involved. And I'm sorry, Lillard. You signed this contract. You don't have no trade clause. You really have no bargaining power in this potential trade that you want, the potential trade. You really have no bargaining power. You could sit there and and be down, be cranky, be bitter, be upset, and play like that or whatever, and not be a good leader to the young players on Portland. Scooter Henderson, for example, Sterling Sharp. You could do that because I think there's a high possible chance you're not going to be anywhere. I think he's going to be in Portland next season because Portland, yeah, exactly. They don't want to give up Lillard for just scraps, right? They want value for Lillard, right? A superstar player who has few years. It's not like he's a 1-year deal left. 1-year deals, guys, you maybe get less value back, but he doesn't have 1 year left on his deal. I think he has 2 or 3 years, and you want value for 4 first-round picks and players they're asking for the moon, obviously, right? They're asking for the moon in quality, and Miami doesn't really have that. Okay? If you really look at Boston, I know Lillard says he doesn't want to go to Boston. Boston has a lot more value to offer Portland because they could probably trade Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown is still young enough. Yeah, that's true. Boston could probably trade Jaylen Brown for Lillard, and that's a big start. That would get something. That would get something between. There would be what's that? Not transaction, but there would definitely be movement in a potential deal if Jaylen Brown is involved in a possible deal for Lillard, because Jaylen Brown Jaylen Brown's better than Hero or Banabayo, right? And you could build Jaylen Brown with Scooter Henderson. Jaylen Brown's still relatively young, 25, 26. And so whatever. And Jaylen Brown is going for a max contract, a really, really big max contract. So Boston really does have more value if you really think about it. Okay? And Brooklyn has more value. They have more pieces too. Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, how old is Jimmy Butler? Here's the thing with Lillard, though. I don't think Lillard. I like Lillard. Lillard's a star. I don't think Lillard is a Pat Riley type player. And I'll tell you why Lillard is not a Pat Riley type player. He doesn't play any defense. Yeah, I wouldn't give him that. Tatum is better, right? Jason Tatum is better than Lillard. I wouldn't better than Brown. And that's the thing. I don't think Lillard is a Miami type player. He doesn't play any defense. Okay? But he's a great offensive player. But he's healthy. And Jimmy Butler, how old is Jimmy Butler now? $33. And obviously, Lowry, the thing is, Kyle Lowry is a Miami type player. It's just that if this was Kyle Lowry from his Raptor days, Miami would might have a chance against Denver. Okay? You could clearly see that Kyle Lowry, when they were in Denver, you could seriously see that how on the decline Kyle Lowry is, that he's getting to the rope for his career is coming to an end. But if this is Raptor days Kyle Lowry, they might have a better chance against Denver. And Kyle Lowry obviously is not as good as Lillard, right? Lillard is offensively more talented. Obviously, I would take Lillard over Lowry, but Lowry tough as nails defensively. Yeah, they did. They lost Brown. It's true. There's certain players that fit Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra. And I don't know if Lillard But like him, and now him saying now reports his agent is saying he doesn't. If he goes to get traded to another team, he may not report. He may be disgruntled. You know what? Fuck you, man. Come on. You're a grown ass man. How much is Lillard making? Grown ass man. Lillard salary. I'm looking for his contract. He's in the 40s, right? The 40 millions. I think he's in the 40 millions. Okay, so how much does the average rise? 4-year, 176 million. So how much is that a year? Okay, so for next season, he make 45 million. 45 million. 45 million. That's what he makes next year. For the season after, he's not even a free agent till potentially 2026, 2027, and that's a player option. But in 2024, 2025, he makes 48 million. And then hear this out. In 2025 to 2026, his salary jumps up 10 million more to 58 million. So he could be 35, 36, making 58 million. And then he has an option that he could pick up in 2026, 2027 for 63 million. Do you know how hard it is to match those salaries right now? And to be honest with you, in order to trade for a superstar in the NBA right now, you have to trade players that are making lots of money. And in the NBA, average to so usable role players are making 15 to 20 million now. Right? You got guys on the bench making over 10 million. And look at Durant. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Crazy. Look at Durant. How many of those players in the Durant deal? Oh, I don't know. That's in 3 years. We don't know. 3 or 4 years. The Durant deal. How much money did Bridges, Johnson, I don't know who else combined for? Whatever. And Kyrie Irving, Dinwiddie, Finney-Smith had to make up at least 30, 35 million of Kyrie Irving's salary. You lose a bunch of players to equal the superstar player getting return. You do that. Do you know why DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl worked for Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green? Kawhi Leonard was not making over 20 million at the time. He was making about 18 million. I don't know how much Danny Green was making. Yeah, Fred is making more money than Kyrie, which is crazy. I mean, Fred is more reliable than Kyrie because he puts effort, he plays defense, he's willing to stay on the court more, but he's obviously not better than Kyrie Irving, right? Talent-wise, right? It's crazy. Thank you, Anthony. And it's just that there's no way Portland without it has to be Hero Ben from Miami. And that's just a starting point. And you definitely have to give some draft picks. But the thing is, from Miami, those draft picks could be late first rounders. Wait a minute, late first rounders. Obviously, when you trade Lillard to a contending team and you're getting draft picks back, they're going to be late first rounders. And right? Oh, yeah, the players' contracts are going up like crazy in the NBA, man. Oh, yeah, for sure. Not if you get sued. Not if you get sued by Britney Spears. Britney Spears is going to sue the hell out of him and his security. Are you kidding me? Really? Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, it's funny. I know. That's pretty funny. That's pretty. I know you guys. I know you heard what happened. Britney Spears and Victor Ramy. Victor, his security. But like seriously, remember every time I talk about the NBA on the street, with whether George or not or is not on, we all talk about how we respect Lillard and stuff like this. Like if he wants to trade, right? We say, yeah, he wants to. If he has the right to want to trade. It's just that one team, like seriously, one team out 29, and I'm telling you, why not Boston? Are you afraid of Boston media compared to Miami? Are you afraid of Boston media? Why not New York? Brooklyn or the Knicks? Are you afraid of New York media? Is it because you're comfortable in Portland, so you're like used to the Newsflash, Lillard? Portland's the only professional sports team in Oregon. So they're gonna get the most coverage of any sport there. You go to New York, guess what? Whether you're Brooklyn or Nick, you know what? Aaron Judge is still going to be number one because he's a Yankee. A Yankee will always be number one. Aaron Rodgers is going to be number two. Raising the Jets. Nobody on the Giants is big enough to be coverage in New York right now. Daniel Jones has just had one good year. And the Knicks have no superstar on that team. But if you go to the Knicks, you'll be there. You will share the spotlight in New York with Rodgers and Aaron Judge. Okay? Same if you go to Brooklyn. Okay? If you go to Boston, since the Patriots don't have Brady anymore, and since the Bruins are going the opposite direction, and since the Red Sox are not that good and they have no star player, you would definitely be the focus point in Boston for the Celtics. Definitely. That's true. You go to Philadelphia, you will sure to Embiid. But here's the thing in Philadelphia. You got Bryce Harper there, okay? And you also got Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, okay? You'll share it there. And Portland, you're always going to be number one. And Miami, I guarantee you, besides the Dolphins, because football always take priority number one, and Florida, you will be the number one attention, number one attraction there. That's true, okay? And you look at the West. In LA, you'll be behind LeBron. Okay? And the Clippers, you might be the most focused person on the Clippers because Kawhi and George will never play. And Golden State, you'll definitely share it with Curry, Clay, and maybe Draymond. Definitely because maybe San Francisco, you might not be the number one attention there or whatever. Texas, if you go to Houston, yeah, you'll be number one there because Houston has nobody. Whatever. You go to the East Coast, especially the Northeast Coast, you'll not be the number one focus there. Like I know Miami is all nice, hot beaches, whatever. Yeah, it's a good place to retire. You're young, man. Let me tell you something. It's not a good sports state. Carolina is a better basketball state. Okay, and right now it's good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. The Knicks are not playing right now with the Yankees. Okay, because the Yankees are being whipped apart in New York right now. And if you're the Knicks, and literally the Knicks right now, the attention will still be on the Yankees because the Yankees are being whipped apart. Judge being hurt. He may not. I don't know when he's going to come back. Honestly. But like there's great situations, other situations. You know what? I do think if Lillard was not Boston, I think they would have closed out the series against Miami. Hell, you know what? You know what? Milwaukee should go after Lillard. I know. Milwaukee is located in the north. It's cold in the winter, right? Blah blah blah. Obviously, but Milwaukee has the pieces to make the deal. You could trade Drew Holiday or Chris Middleton or whatever, right? Like for Lillard. Obviously, the draft picks are going to be late. Hell, if I was Philadelphia, I would trade Harden to Portland. And obviously, Harden played up 1 year there, where Portland probably just flip Harden. They'll either buy out Harden or they'll flip Harden to another team. Like Philadelphia needs that closer because it's been proven in the playoffs. And Embiid, while MVP this year, Embiid cannot last in the playoffs. His condition, Embiid's weakness in the playoffs, it's not his ability, it's his conditioning. You clearly see he gets tired as the season goes on and once it goes into the playoffs. You can seriously see his conditioning worsen. And Harden obviously chokes in the playoffs. And obviously does not want to be in Philly because he paid the player option. He wants to go to New York or I don't know the other team, whatever. Another fool, whatever. Okay, Lillard would be perfect for Philadelphia because he could close out games because that's what Lillard is good at. And don't give me this shit where people in the past, oh, they never put a good team around Lillard. Yes, they have. They have. Lillard has been on good Portland teams. Okay? Not lately, but he has been on good Portland teams. He had LaMarcus Aldridge, Nicholas Batum, Wesley Matthews, Damian Lillard. Okay? Good teams. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they almost go to the Western Conference Finals? Or they went to the Western Conference Finals 1 year with Lillard and McCollum? They did put a good team around Lillard. Okay? Don't give me the bullshit. Like, I remember that. It's not his fault. It's not his fault that Norcus always bailed on to go to what's it called? To San Antonio. Or when Wesley Matthews bailed on him, Wesley Matthews wasn't really the same. Or when Nicholas Batum went to Charlotte and he wasn't good with Charlotte, they were good on Portland. And then CJ McCollum was there. Like he had good teams. Okay? But he wants to go to Miami, which is, I just don't trust. Like Duncan Robinson is always hot and cold, but Duncan Robinson is not going to get anything started in the deal. He's either Hero and Ben Adebayo, and the problem is I don't think Miami is going to trade Ben Adebayo because they have no big man in the middle. And the one thing that killed them in the finals, what killed Miami in the finals, was size. Jokic dominated Denver. Jokic, of course, but Michael Porter, Gordon, they dominated Miami with strength and size. And that's one of the main reasons why Miami lost. And Jamal Murray was really, really good. Well, Jamal Murray's a 20-point player. He's not like a mega superstar, okay? He's like a 20-point player. Michael Porter was like a 15, 18-point player. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk about this. Like, that Denver team, I'm sorry, okay? The Golden State team from last year is better than Denver, okay? The Milwaukee team that won a championship is better than that Denver team, okay? Okay? I'm not going to count the Lakers 2022 because that's a bubble. The Toronto Raptor team is better than that Denver team. Yeah, they got Jokic and Jamal Murray, but that 2019 Raptor team had more depth and better depth. They didn't, okay? Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam improved, most improved player that year. Kyle Lowry, Danny Green, who else? Serge Ibaka off the bench, Fred VanVleet off the bench. Like that Raptor team was this Raptor team. I'm telling you, that 2019 Raptor team would have beat this Denver team because that Raptor team, that Raptor team had more depth than even the Cleveland Cavalier teams that went to the finals with LeBron. In the end, it won because when Kawhi was when they rested Kawhi, the Raptors still won games. But yeah, whatever. But yeah, if you want to go, fine, go to Miami, guy. You're gonna be happy. They're fine. Just be open. Be open, please. Be open. Remember when Paul George demanded a trade from Indiana? So remember, back in, 2018? 2017, 2018, he demanded a trade from Indiana, which is a big basketball state too, right? Indiana State, famous for Larry Bird. Larry Bird, right? Biggest star in Indiana College State history, right? Larry Bird. Paul George demanded a trade, right? He wanted to go to LA because he's from LA. Either the Clippers or Lakers, he didn't care. But like Lillard, he had no trade clause, he had no control, and they traded him Oklahoma of all places, Oklahoma. With Westbrook, Durant was gone, Harden was gone way before, but Durant was gone, right? And what happened? He signed an extension with Oklahoma. He decided he liked it there. He decided an extension. Maybe he could win there. But what happens? Kyle Leonard and his uncle pulling strings behind the scenes, like the snakes they are, because his uncle is a fucking snake. I'm sorry, Kyle Leonard's a snake. Him and his representatives are snakes. Okay. But what happens once Paul George signs the extension, they convince Kyle Leonard and his people convince Paul George, come to the Clippers, and Oklahoma made that deal. And you know what? The Clippers made the playoffs, but it looks like I think Oklahoma is going to have the last laugh. Because Oklahoma, Shai Alexander, they got Chad Hogan back. They got draft picks. They got a young team, and they're definitely on the rise. I think, and Paul George is really, really overrated. Okay, one of the most overrated players in the league. Okay, and I think I'm gonna say this: Oklahoma, if you really look at it, fleeced the Clippers. Because these Clippers team is so freaking disappointed, are such an embarrassment to the league because Kawhi Leonard never plays. Is getting $40 million a year, never plays. I think he should give that money back. Guy should just retire. Paul George is hurt. I think they're super. I'm sorry. I just don't think Kawhi Leonard. I don't know how serious his injury is. I just don't think he's committed to basketball anymore. Same with Paul George. It's just, I'm sorry. Like, Clippers are a joke. And Tyronn Lue is a good coach. It's that they're a joke. And the idea of maybe James Harden going to the Clippers. Do you want James Harden and Russell Westbrook on the same team? Or like look. Seriously, do you really want them on the same team? It's just that, and this is a problem with Adam Silver's NBA. He lets the players win. Yeah, thank you, George. Adam Silver lets these prima donna superstars win the league. I have no problem with superstars deserving what they deserve with union stuff, a fair salary, right? Equal rights, whatever, right? But they give him too much power in the NBA. The NBA is giving them too much power. Too much power. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Superstar entitlement, it's not just an NBA thing. It's not just an NBA thing. Of all the four major sports, it seems like it's the most coming out of the NBA, the superstar entitlement. It seems like it's the biggest out of the NBA because NBA is has really taken off over the years in terms of popularity. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Right? But it's too much, it's like, and all these superstars want to go to the same cities, whether it's LA, Miami, Boston, New York or Brooklyn, Phoenix, right? Or maybe, right? They never want to go to, I don't know, Minnesota, Milwaukee, not even Chicago. Not even Chicago gets mentioned. Cleveland, Utah, Toronto, whatever. I want to say that. Toronto, Charlotte. They do say Houston once in a while. Oklahoma, I don't know, whatever. New Orleans. And these cities I mentioned, I know I haven't been to all of them, but they're pretty nice cities, and you could live there. Why? You don't want to live there because there's not because it's cold? But wait, are you afraid of the cold? Are you cowards? You scared of the cold? Newsflash. If you've been paying attention, every year it's getting warmer and warmer in the world. Hell, in 10 years, there probably won't be any snow in Canada. Yeah, that's true. But nobody wants to see the Lakers, man. These cities are beautiful and they're playable. And there's nice things to do around them, okay? You can't grow a league. You can't grow a league in any sport if all these superstars are going to the major cities, okay? Or cities that are warm and stuff, or states that are warm and have no tax and stuff like that. You can't grow a sport that way. In order to grow a sport, you're going to need superstars in markets. They're not overly big markets, okay? You're going to need that. And I'll defend Toronto. The problem is some of these people think in America and NBA that Toronto's a small market city. Toronto's not a small market city, man. Okay? Toronto's a big market city. And I'll say this, Anthony. LA is not even a good sports town either. It's not a good sports town. And there's a reason why they're not a good sports town. You think the people who go to the Lakers, you think the celebrities who go to Laker fans are really Laker fans? You think they're really Laker fans? You really think they're Laker fans? Because most of them are not from LA. Most of them are born in other countries. I guarantee you, a guy like Simu Liu, if he goes to a Laker game and the Raptors are in town, he'll put on Raptor gear. Okay? Guarantee you if Drake goes to LA and the Raptors are in town, he'll put on Raptor gear. All these celebrities who go to Laker games, if they're from a city that's not from LA, they'll definitely wear their team hometown's gear. Okay? I'm sorry. I don't. It's just have a good fan base there. It's like Florida doesn't have a good fan base. New York has a great fan base. Boston has a great fan base. Philadelphia, Washington, Chicago, San Francisco, Phoenix, Houston, Dallas, Seattle, Las Vegas, Toronto. I'll go Montreal, man. I'll go over a bunch of cities that have a great fan base. Okay? And I gotta say this. Hot take, Miami Heat have the ugliest court court decoration. I do not like how their inside the arena is designed. I think it's really, really bad. I don't like how they're like I, j- I don't like their in court decorations, man. Or how their court is designed. It's or how their seats are designed or colored, whatever. They have really, really bad. Really, it's really, really bad. God, Charlotte for God's sake. Charlotte for God's sake, before Michael Jordan sold, who doesn't want to play for Michael Jordan? The greatest player of all time? Seriously. Yes, really, really seriously. Hell, I understand as an athlete, I would want to live in a southern city, especially if I'm a baseball player. If I'm a baseball athlete, and baseball, obviously, baseball's off season is during the winter. I'm not living in a northern city where it's cold or where it snows, right? Because I want to be somewhere where it's warm and hot, so I can, prepare myself, get better, improve my skills, get training, get into shape for the spring training playoff season. Obviously, I want to be in a southern state or somewhere warm where I could do that. Obviously, right? If you're a baseball athlete, it makes sense to live in the South. And D'Angelo Russell, if you didn't know this, he was in Toronto last week. People were speculating, oh, he's going to sign with the Raptors. Yeah. You got Dan Schroeder instead. Yeah, Stan Schroeder. All right. But yeah, you know what? I just lost respect for this guy. Like, seriously. We all thought you're cool. We all thought you were one. We all thought you're different, Lillard. We all thought you're different. I thought you're different. But it turns out you're not. You're just the same as every superstar title player out there. I guess the superstar player that's not entitled and is willing to stay with his own team, that wants to stay with his own team, I guess is Pascal Siakam. That's it. I guess. And there's loyalty means nothing. You were the chosen one. I should get that. Let me get that. Thank you, George. Thank you, George. And I want the Raptors to trade Pascal Siakam. Is there like a short clip? Oh, here we go. Let's see if I can download it. Yeah, I think you can do it. I'm trying to download it. Whatever. Yeah, you were the close one. Who's next? Zion Williamson? Because Stephen A. Smith or whoever is accusing of Zion Williamson doing all these antics outside the NBA, outside in the offseason just to get traded. And yeah. But yeah, man. You know what? Portland, just to piss him off, send him to China. Oh, good point. Remember the offseason after the season, people were speculating, oh, Doncic is gonna be the next one. Doncic is gonna be the next one once out of Dallas. You know why I can see that happening? It's because probably Kyrie Irving is be like, I can't play with this guy. Get me out of here. I mean, if I had Kyrie Irving on my team, I probably want out of there too. And you know, it's a good point, George. Look at those two. Jokic and Giannis are both from Milwaukee and Denver. Not exactly big market cities, right? Cold as hell. Those cities are cold as hell, right? Milwaukee and Denver, the coldest cities in Denver. Look what Jokic plays in Denver. High altitude, breathing, you know? Like, I don't think any other team was interested in him. The problem with Dallas is, oh, they got Grant Williams. They really need to improve their defense. I just don't think Doncic and Kyrie could work together. That backcourt, it's going to be eaten alive defensively. But yeah, man, I'm going to end it here, guys. Damian Lillard is only wants to go to Miami. And nowhere else. Cause all kinds of problems. God. We got to stop this superstar entitlement. We gotta do something. Adam Silver has to grow a backbone and do something about this because this is an epidemic in the NBA. Okay, an epidemic, not a pandemic. An epidemic in the NBA with superstar players. Either we're going to one city or bailing on teams quickly. Two epidemics: going to a specific city, specific team, or quickly giving up. Durant gives up. Kyrie gives up. Harden's giving up. This is a problem in the NBA that needs to be fixed. And Adam Silver does not have the backbone and the guts to fix this. He's giving the players too much power, too much entitlement, and there's nothing they can do right now because they got the new CBA deal done. The only thing they've really kind of done is punish players for resting. Basically, yeah. Because now in the NBA, they made a new CBA. You have to play a certain amount of games to be eligible for this award, to be eligible for this contract. You got to play this 65 games to be eligible for MVP. That's what they did. That's their counter to resting players. Because I can tell you one thing, the NBA was not happy when players were being rested. Fans were not happy about it, right? Fans were not happy about it. But that's the only thing they took initiation on. But they didn't take initiation on about superstar entitlement. That's the only part. Actually, that's the only part of superstar entitlement they took initiation on. But it's not the other part discussed about. We're giving up quickly or just telling players or players telling where they want to go, making demands. It has to stop because I know teams have to look out for the best of the player at times, but teams mostly have to look for the best out of the team and the future of their team, not the future of the player. Because just remember, there's no I in team, right? And the NBA has a tons of selfish players. And right now, Lillard, who we thought was not selfish, is being one of them. And people are turning on Lillard. And this thing, I'll say this before I end, this one is getting a lot of people's nerves, stuff like that, because we expect this from Kyrie, from Durant, Harden, Westbrook, whoever. But from Lillard, who's been loyal, who's been saying all the right stuff like that, we didn't expect from Lillard, and that's why it's worse with Lillard doing this than these other players. We get tired of Durant. We get Kyrie. We get tired of Kyrie. Tired of Durant. Tired of Westbrook. Tired of Harden doing all this. To a point where we just, yeah, I'm not surprised. To a point where we laugh about it. But this is different. This is Lillard. I probably agree with you. The players in these modern days are cowards. The ones that always want out, they're cowards. They're cowards. They're chicken and cowards. Okay? Cowards. Just cowards. And they're getting paid lots and lots of money for it. And you know what? I respect Bradley Beal. Because Bradley Beal didn't really demand a trade or anything, right? Him and Washington, they came to an agreement that maybe it's time for them to move on from each other. And Bradley Beal he agreed with Washington. No hard feelings. Yeah, he goes to Phoenix. But you know what? He didn't say, I'm only going to go to Phoenix only, right? You didn't hear him come out and say, I'm only want to go to Phoenix. Right? I'm sorry, guys. I don't see this as much as other sports as much as I see this in NBA. Football a little bit, but not much. But yeah, do me a favor, your thoughts. Once the stream is over, comment below your thoughts on my stream. Also, check out what's happened with Britney Spears in Alabama situation with security. I think she's suing, isn't she? Isn't she suing him or the security? I don't know. That was crazy. Like, I know it's a summer league game. I gotta check the stuff. Is his game today in Summer League. I gotta check what he did tonight. Because Summer League is going. I don't watch Summer League. But yeah, do me a like, share, subscribe, comment below. Do all that stuff. And I like doing this stuff, talking about this kind of stuff. I'm gonna do more stuff like this. And you're always welcome to come on and give out your opinions. Always. Your thoughts and opinions. It would be fun. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, like, share, subscribe, and comment below. Take care, guys.